Hi, I'm Delphine, director and founder of the Live Design Project. And today we will be talking about how to run a project from beginning to end. It is my step-by-step guide, which I hope will guide you and help you avoid any failure and mistakes. Creativity is the spark, but process is what turns it into a finished project. Process is really the key to a successful project. It protects your time, it creates trust, decisions are recorded, versions are clear, approvals are visible. It reduces rework, you only draw what is really agreed. It makes you easy to work with, and that's what gets you referred. So after what we will cover today, you'll know what happens, when, and what needs approval before you move forward. This presentation follows a project timeline, starting with pre-discovery and how to get to know your clients and their needs. Then phase one is about the client's brief and the site survey. Only once you have all the information, you can move to the design developing, the story you will be selling to the client. Then structuring your fees and setting up the rules for the revision will help you get paid on time and keep sane. Once design is approved, then comes the documentation, which are your drawings, details, and FF&E. Last phases, once you complete the design and documentation, will be the tendered, followed by the procurement, then site. This is where a lot of coordination happens, and when you make sure that your project is delivered with quality. And to finish, I'll give you a few tricks to avoid failure before you move forward. Framework is very important for the project lifecycle. It makes the whole journey viable for you and the client. These are the phases you will have to go through with the framework. So starting with the pre-discovery, okay, moving on to concept, then documentation, tender, site, and completion. During all of these, you will need to get some approvals. And the approvals are really the gates that make sure that your project works and is set on time. After each phase, you will have to recap decisions and get a clear yes by email before investing time in the next deliverables, okay? And your deliverables are the proof to make sure that you can move forward to the next phase. Every phase ends with something tangible: a brief, a deck, a plan, a drawing set, a tracker, a report, anything that you can put into email and will be approved. Role and responsibility is key. You need to know where yours starts and when other begins. The client responsibility is to define goals and budget, to approve decisions, and very importantly, to pay on milestone. You as a designer, you need to come up with the design intent, the documentation, including FF&E. You need to coordinate all parties involved. And finally, do all design reviews for the execution at site. As you cannot masterize everything, you will have to get supported by consultant. Okay, their roles and responsibility. For example, the MEP, which is mechanical, electrical, and plumbing. You'll have structural engineers most of the time. You have code engineers that will calculate loads, for example, and any other specialists that are relevant. The contractors are responsible of quality of building works, of course, installation methods, and site safety.